Let's see. Let me get situated here. Hold on a second. Okay. Let me see what she's saying. So she mentioned your dad. Let's see. She's telling me she misses your dad. She wants to know if he's doing okay.
Oof, that's hard.
They they were still together, weren't they?
She's most likely referring to my stepfather.
Oh, okay. Probably so.
Pretty much raised us.
Yes,
Yeah.
you call him your dad then, correct? Because I feel that's who it would be. I were they? I feel like they were together for like 20 some years. Does that make sense?
Yes. She
I heard
was
25.
buried on anniversary. Yep.
Oh, she was buried on their anniversary? No way. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Were there talks of cremating her? Is that something you guys wanted to do and you changed your mind? Do you know?
No, it was always a discussion. She wanted to be donated to science. And he really wanted her to be next to him when his time came. So she was buried, but the rest of us are, we're on the lines of we're not going to be buried. So
now I have to ask you something.
Kind of a running thing.
Do you relate to what I'm hearing about Alzheimer's and dementia? Who would that be for?
I'm not sure on that one.
I feel like it's a woman. Could be one of your grandmothers, or could it have been one of your grandmothers?
No.
Okay.
Maybe on his side, on my stepdad's side, his mom.
Okay.
Before she passed, she started losing a lot of her cognitive.
Yes, and that makes sense. But you knew about this. So, but you knew her. Did you know her?
Yes.
So this is his mother.
Yeah.
Your stepdad's mom. So
Yep.
she would be like your grandmother, that the fill-in grandmother, or did she pretend? Was she your grandma?
Yes.
Because I feel like she was a big part of your life. Because let me ask you something. Were you? I feel like you were fairly young when your your stepfather got with your mom. Is this correct?
Yes.
I don't know if this was around the age, but I heard 12. Do you relate to around the 12 or 13 age? I heard 12. I'm not sure what to do with it.
I think I was 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a sister?
2 of them, yeah.
I heard younger. Were they younger than you?
My little sister was younger, yes.
Could she have been about the 12-year-old?
Yes.
Okay. I felt it was for one of your sisters if it wasn't for you, because they were telling me younger, which means your sister was younger. That's what I was hearing.
Yeah, a big deal if she's bringing that up right now. She's having a really hard time. She passed on her birthday, which was 3 days ago, 2 years ago.
Who passed on the birthday?
My mom passed on my little sister's birthday 2 years ago.
Oh, yeah. Yes. She said, if I could have passed any other day, I would have. You know that, right? I would have never done this to my daughter.
Yep.
I never would have, because now all she remembers is her birthday is when I died. And
she tried so hard to hang on.
She did. Do you relate to when I hear cancer with her?
Yes.
And that's what she passed from, correct?
Yes.
I feel like it's spread. I feel like it's spread to a few places. I'm hearing about lungs. Is this for your mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I know she had the lung cancer, but she's just making me feel like she had trouble breathing, even though with the lung cancer, I feel like there was also other things wrong with your mom besides just the cancer.
She had primary peritoneal stage 4 ovarian cancer, but it spread everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you relate to me feeling like it could have been emphysema or something with the lungs? I know it's the lungs things as well, but I feel like there was something else with the lungs as well.
She was very scared of Western medicine, and any time that She couldn't breathe. It really took a toll on her. She was just she didn't have a fear of dying, but she had a fear of dying.
Right. She wasn't afraid what was going to happen, but she didn't want to leave
Right.
you guys. You know that, right? Is there
Yeah.
is there 3 of you guys?
Yes.
Siblings?
3 girls. Yep.
Stop. I was going to ask you if it was all girls because I heard girls. The girls. She's talking about her girls. Are you in the middle?
Yes.
Okay, because I heard she said you're in the middle. You're in the middle. I have to reword stuff because the way I word things, people think I'm fishing. I'm really not. So I need to try to reword my questions the right way so people don't think that I'm actually reword it. So I'm not trying to fish because I'm really not. I'm asking stuff in a way because I'm actually hearing about it, if that makes sense. It's really strange. I have to ask you, what is this thing with the feet? Did she have feet problems? She's talking about her feet. Somebody's talking about their feet. What is this feet problem?
That's also kind of a running thing in our family. We have really cute feet. So she always had the softest, best feet ever. And
I was like, did she tell me about feet? I didn't know what she was meaning. That is crazy. I would have no way of knowing that. You know so that, right?
Funny.
That is so funny. She's talking. I'm like, she's talking about feet. I'm like, why is she talking about feet? Does she have problems with feet, or what's going on? So this is like a running joke with you guys. So it's like a joke, right?
Yes.
Okay. That makes sense. Did she have kind of small, dainty feet? Why do I feel like she was a small size?
Yes.
Like I just heard size 5. Did she have like 5 or 6 size 5 or 6 feet?
She's tiny. She was tiny. Yeah.
Why do I feel like she barely weighed 100 pounds?
At the end, it went fast the last month, and she was less than 100 pounds when she passed.
Okay, that makes sense. Because she's just making me feel she barely weighed 100 pounds, and towards the end, that's okay as well. Very petite and very just, she fought it as long as she could. You know that, right?
Yeah.
She's like, I want you to know, she says, sweetheart, I miss you so much. And she says, I wish I could have passed on any other day but your sister's birthday. She said it just broke her heart. That's when she passed. Because she knew it was her birthday when she passed. She knew that already.
Yeah.
But, that's the hard part is your sister now is going to remember. Are you 3 years older than her? 2 or 3 years older than her?
My older sister's 3 years older than me.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
My little sister and I are like Irish twins.
Got you. If anybody can donate to Holly, she said she'll not triple. Don't triple. That's too much. I don't even charge that much for a reading. I'm so silly. Let me see. I don't know if this is for her or not. What is this thing about the throat? I'm feeling somebody had something wrong with the throat. I'm hearing about that. This might not be for her, it could be for somebody else.
My older sister has gone through some pretty major surgeries.
Okay.
She actually just had another bronchoscope this morning.
Wow, because that's what I'm feeling, like just scratchy throat, just something wrong with my throat. So that's for your sister, correct?
Yep.
Okay, because I hear stuff about alive people too. It doesn't have to be dead. Like, I feel sometimes when I talk about this, if I feel I know if it's not about the person I'm reading, I feel like it could be somebody else as well. So.
Yeah, she just had one this
One second, I'm sorry. Hold on. Sorry. Duh. Oh my gosh. Now your grandmother, she's passed, yes? Your mom's mom?
Yes.
She's with her, so she was with her as well. Let's see. And your grandfather as well, he's passed?
Yes.
Now, I don't know who this would be for, but I feel like because I got connected to your grandfather, is there a military reference with him or somebody else in your family?
Yes.
Like, is there an army reference with him?
Yes.
Was he ever in combat?
Yes.
I don't know if he was here or not. I feel like he was overseas somewhere. I keep, like, I see, like, Korea, Vietnam kind of thing with him. Is this true?
Yes.
Because he's shown me, like, let's see what he's showing me. I'm trying to envision more when I hear about military, because somebody tried to help me yesterday about, when I hear military, try to envision more about what it is, not necessarily because if somebody says military, I try to get more information about the military thing. Either they lived by the base, or somebody was actually in the military, or was this the army? I heard army. Was this army for him?
Army.
Yep. Was he marching? Would they march? Would they sometimes like march, like?
That is so crazy. You just gave me goosebumps because I said in my head, Grandpa, if you bring up the marching or the walking, I know you're there.
No way, because he showed me like listen.
On his deathbed, he never talked about the war.
Never. It was too hard. It was too hard.
He was kind of a grumpy old man, but he was probably my favoriteest person ever growing up.
Yes.
And on his deathbed, he started rambling with the medication, and he was talking about walking through South Korea. And I kind of looked at my dad like, you know, it just made me cry, and that's something I'll never forget.
And it's interesting because he brought up the marching. I've never heard marching in a reading. I'm like, why am I hearing about somebody marching? That's so crazy. Never. Yeah. That's such a validation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's crazy. I tell people that story all the time about when he was getting ready to go, and that's the first time.
Like, I feel like he's picking his legs high up in his. Well, I feel like your grandfather, because he waited so long to talk. Listen, this war is a hard thing to talk about, anyways. People that's in war, but I think he wanted to release some of his he wanted to say something to somebody because he kept everything inside for so long. Do you know he's making me feel? Do you know if he ever had to SHOOT anybody?
Yes.
That's what he's telling me. It was a bad time for me. He says PTSD. Did he develop PTSD from this? Do you know?
Severe.
That he's talking about this PTSD. Yeah. He's talking about his PTSD. That's what he's saying. He's like, I just got goosebumps as well. I hope you did too. That was a big factor in his life. This is why he was so grumpy because of this. He said, you have to understand, sweetheart, what I went through was not easy. He says it took its toll on me and my emotions. He said, when I first came back from the war, I was a fucking mess, he says.
Oh man, yeah, he was.
And he says it took me a long time to get acclimated back into society, for one. And everybody that came across me did not like me because they did not agree with us being over there.
Yep.
That's what he's making me feel. And so he's telling me, he's like, it's one of those things that I ended up keeping inside because I had to protect myself because people were coming at me left and right and accusing me of being a traitor. And I was not a traitor. I was serving my damn country. He says, I was not a fucking traitor. He says, how dare they say that I was? Because I wasn't.
Yeah, he had a hard time in his life.
So he says, sweetheart, you have to understand, keeping all this bottled inside was not easy for me. PTSD, anxiety, panic attacks. He says nobody will ever understand what I went through unless my brothers in arms were over there with me. And he says through the years, I lost so many good friends from that damn shit, he says. That's what he's telling me. I just feel like he's just telling me about his whole time over there. And that's crazy. I love hearing these stories. First of all, because I have tremendous sympathy for people that I read, but hearing about the firsthand account of what happened is pretty crazy. Now that I can do it, it's just pretty wild that I can do this stuff, to be honest with you. But hearing about what your grandfather went through, I have tremendous sympathy for the guy, and he was a very brave person. I can feel very brave person.
Yeah, for sure.
But he said it was not. He said it was not easy coming back home. He says nobody understood why we were there. Same thing with Vietnam. Everybody called them traitors. We were not traitors. We were following orders. There's a difference.
Yeah.
I was just following my orders where I was sent to go. And he says, I'm thankful. I was thankful every day that I made it home off the war because you wouldn't be here. Your mom would be here, so on, so on, and so on. Your kids wouldn't be here. You know, it's like an effect, you know. He said, but there's one thing. He says, listen, I know I was a grouchy guy. I get it, okay? But I had reasons for that. He says, I know I was grouchy. He wants me to call him Groucho Marx, like the Groucho Marx character, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not even kidding, yes.
So funny, so funny. But he says, no matter how I felt, I always loved you guys, always. I loved your mom very much. I loved you. I loved your grandmother very much. I loved your mom. I love you. I love your grandkids. I mean, your kids and everything. It's just, I just had to be closed off for a reason. That's what you have to understand, he says.
Yeah.
But
looking back at it as an adult now, you know, you understand those things. As a kid, it's hard.
Yes.
You know, but
yeah.
You know,
he says I apologize. He said I apologize for all the times I might have got mad at you or said something wrong out of the way. It's just you don't understand how much going into the Korean War affected me. It was horrible.
Yeah.
And that's what he's telling me. He said, but eventually it started fading away, and it was, you know, eventually he didn't have to talk about it anymore because it just was so long since he was there. Do you know if he was there in the 60s, like early to mid 60s, possibly? I just heard 63, so I don't know when the Korean War was. That's why I'm asking. I feel like it was sometime in the 60s. I don't know 100%. I don't know that much history. I don't pay attention. But for some reason, he's making me feel like it was in the 60s when he was there.
He had such a long tenure in the Army. I believe it would have been before that.
Okay, so maybe mid to late 50s. Okay.
And, overseas.
I have to ask. I would have to ask you. Did he make his way up to sergeant? Because I just heard sergeant.
That would be my father. That would be my biological father.
That's your father. Interesting. Okay.
He's still here. Yeah.
Okay, but that's okay. The sergeant is your dad, so you can validate that. I was like, I heard sergeant for a reason.
Yep.
Now I'm hearing private. Was your grandfather a private, maybe?
My niece's husband.
Okay.
He's in the Air Force, and
he's a private.
He runs special missions, so
okay.
I don't get to know all of the things that he does.
That's all right. No, you're not going to know, and you are not going to know. You are not going to know.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so crazy. You know, with me, because I'm trying to not sound like I'm fishing, because I don't. I'm trying to reword things so people don't sound like I'm fishing.
Sure.
I know that's what people think I'm doing, but I'm not. I'm just asking damn questions, but I'm not fishing for nothing.
No, you're getting all the things.
I try my best. Like, I'm trying to reword the question so people, like, I don't care what people think about me. All I care is what you guys think one-on-one. But I always have to hear about it. You're fishing. You're doing this. No, I'm not. I really am not. So crazy. Oh, hold on. Oh, pain in my side. Hold on. Oh, it's like a gas bubble. Oh, damn it. Oh, let me push that out for a second. Sorry. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, sweetheart.
Okay. Do you get referred pain when you do readings?
No, I don't. It's just because of the way I'm sitting. No, I don't. I don't get any drawbacks from it. None. Even as an energy healer, I don't get any side effects from it. Nothing. I'm blessed in that way. I can heal people with don't get any side effects. It's crazy, but it's so true. I promise.
Yeah.
Let's see what else I'm hearing. Now I have to ask you, he's talking about your grandmother back in this time. Let me just ask you something. Because he's making me feel all he could think about was her. Were they together when he was in Korea? Do you know?
No, when he returned is when he met my grandma.
Okay, but he says it's a damn good thing I did not pass away because you wouldn't be here. He says none of y'all would be here without me. That's what he's saying. That's true.
Yeah.
So, did he meet her? I feel like within a year or two. Was it within a year or two after he got back? Because I feel like he still in it. I feel like he was like in his late 20s, early 30s when they got together. Do you know?
Yes. Yep.
Like her 20, like I feel it was mid to late 20s when they met and fell in love and had started a family.
Yep. And my grandma was married previously, and he died in war. And then my grandpa came back, and then she.
Oh, that's too bad.
Right.
Yeah, that was very hard for your grandmother to get over. What she's telling me, that was very hard for her to get over.
It was. Yep.
Why do I feel this was pretty recent before she met him that her husband passed?
You mean when my grandpa passed?
No, when your grandmother's first husband passed away. Why do I feel like it was not long before she met your grandfather?
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was.
I feel like it was only within a year or so. Within a year and a half.
Yeah.
Is that right?
For sure.
Like I literally heard like 8 months. Like 8 months.
Yeah. When my grandpa got back stateside, is when they. Yeah, but her first husband had passed shortly before that. Yeah.
Her first husband. Now, I know you don't know much about him, but she's making me feel he was like in his early 20s when he passed. Do you know if that was true?
He was.
Like I heard 22.
I think he was a little bit older than that because, believe it or not, they actually had a son and a set of twins.
I believe it. Okay.
She started early.
That's okay. I feel like she was like 18 or 19 when she started. I feel like she's very young.
Very young, yes.
Nothing wrong with that. But losing her husband was devastating for her. Let me tell you something. Your grandfather treated those children as his home. Did you know that?
He did, yes.
He loved them kids dearly, and he took over the role of their father. And I believe that those children had called him dad, I believe, as well.
Father, yes.
I was going to say, I almost said father. I didn't, but I almost said it. You hear me? I almost say father. I almost. I was like, I always say dad instead of father, but I know there's some, dad, papa, father, daddy. There's so many different ways, but for some reason I was almost going to say father. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And I know that your mom appreciated him very, very much for taking over. Thank you, Bob. I know that your grandmother just really fell head over heels with your grandfather.
Yeah.
Now, of course, they had more children, of course, because you're here. Do you know if they had 3 more children? Because I'm hearing 3.
Yep.
Was it like 2 girls and a boy or 2 boys and a girl, like 2 and 1?
2 boys and a girl.
Okay.
Yep.
And your mom was the only girl?
Yes.
She was spoiled. Your mom. I feel like your mom was spoiled very much by your grandfather.
Yeah.
That's how he's making me feel anyways.
The baby.
Yeah. Oh, she was the baby. Well, no wonder why. She was a baby of all of the children. So what is that, like 7 total, right? Or 6 total. 6 total.
6 total, but yeah, they lost a baby. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I heard 7. But wait.
7. Yep.
Oh. Did anybody around you have pains on their side? Because all of a sudden I keep getting pains on my side.
My mom with her ovarian cancer. Yeah.
Was it on her left side?
It was vile. It was everywhere. It started eating through her at the end. Sorry,
that's graphic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
It was vile. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, she was like getting eat out from the inside out, wasn't she?
It was. Yeah, literally.
She's making me feel like she's making me feel like she was very pale. Do you understand this?
Yeah, I was just
like I feel like she was turning ghost white.
100%. She is as white as her hair.
Right? That's what she's telling me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But for some reason, my left side, it's been hurting me, and I never hurt. So I don't know if she had a lot of more pain on her left side or not.
Yep, that's where she had it at.
Really? That's
right
creepy. That's creepy. What?
Right where her colostomy was. They had to remove a 7-pound tumor initially. She went into remission and then suffered from bowel obstructions when she was re-diagnosed. And then that's what eventually took her when the cancer started growing into her bowel obstructions.
Now, your grandfather passed before your mom, correct?
Yes, years
And
before.
your grandmother as well?
Yeah, my grandma was 100 when she passed. Yeah.
Wow. Yes. She said, you know what? I've lived a very good life, but they were there for your mother when she passed away. They wanted to make sure that you knew this.
Yeah.
They were there for your mom when she passed away.
Yes.
She said, "Sweetie, you know what? I'm normal here. I've put my weight back on. I'm doing good. I'm walking around. I don't have any problems walking around. I'm not stuck in the bed. I am okay." She says. She said, "I left all the physical stuff here in the physical world. She brought nothing with her."
That's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
I know she worries about my stepdad. He's a shit show. He's a mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I question if I feel her energy. I think I do.
Oh, no, you do. Don't question it. You do. She says, "Are you kidding me? I'm always here. Why don't you? You better know you feel my energy. Come on now. Stop questioning that. It's me."
She was very spiritual. She was astral when she was here.
She was what?
She could astral project.
Dude, I'd be afraid I wouldn't come back in my body. I'm scared to do that shit.
She did it all the time, and she would when she had her debulking for her first surgery, she astral when she had her debulking, and she
how
drew
did
a
she
picture
do that
before the doctor.
How did she do that? Like, what do you have to do that? Because I would like to know how to do it, but I don't know. I'm afraid I won't come back in my body.
She could leave her body. She actually watched her whole surgery. She drew a picture of it for the doctor before the doctor told her what they did in her 10-hour surgery.
That's crazy.
She sat with Jesus, she claims, next to her during her surgery. She drew a whole picture of it. She knew exactly what happened in her surgery. Yeah.
That's creepy.
I feel like I feel her all the time.
Honey, she's always with you. Come on now. You know better than that. That's what she says.
When you miss somebody, you still want to see their face, so it's hard.
Yes, I know.
It's like, I know you're here, but where are you?
Okay, Teresa.
I look to the clouds all the time.
Yeah, for sure. So crazy.
Such a sweet lady.
Yeah, you guys are very close.
Yeah.
She loved dog, you guys, though. You know that.
Yeah.
One second, sorry. I gotta get my energy out. Sorry, losing my. I don't know how to ask her. Like, what if you don't come back into your body? That's what I'm worried about.
I think when she first started telling us about it, we were probably in our early 20s. The first time that she actually knows that she did it, we were younger. I live in South Dakota, and when we were young, we had to travel to get from the big city to where we lived in a smaller town. And she had a feeling that there was something ahead in the road when we were driving. And however, how she explained it is much different and much more jaw-dropping, but she was able to actually see, I don't know, what was ahead of us, and had she not had her feeling or whatever she did, there was a semi that was tipped over with logs over in the road. We would have been dead.
Wow, and that's crazy.
She just has so many accounts, and she did it a lot when she slept, and it's kind of creepy. But
did you ask her how did she end up back in her body? Like, how would you find your body? What if you get stuck?
She dug into spirituality and learned how to control it, and I don't know.
Like, I'm scared to do that because what if I get stuck and not come back in my body?
Right.
Sometimes I feel like I've done it without knowing, because sometimes I wake up, I feel like I'm falling. I feel like it's my projection coming back into my body, because sometimes I wake up like I feel like I'm falling, and then all of a sudden I wake up because I feel like I'm coming back into my body. That's how I feel, because I feel like I'm falling and I wake up. But I think it's me coming back into my body, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I feel anyways, right? I don't know. Is that how she would describe it, or no? How would she describe it?
Well, hers, she would always, kind of do like I just kind of float along, and, she had no fear in it. I think that she had no fear in it, and she trusted what God was whatever path she was on with it, and she just was really in tune with her spirituality, and just whatever happens.
It's crazy.
And she would really listen to her messages, and things like that. And
your mom sounded like she was a good person. I could feel it, I could just feel it.
You're the sweetest, yeah.
Your mom's in a really good place, but she said, I'm still the same. I just don't have a body, but I'm still here. I'm always walking around. Like, have you ever found any feathers when she passed away?
All the time.
Those are from her. She's talking about the feathers. She leaves you feathers like white and gray, or yeah, those are from her. Have you ever found a red feather?
Not yet.
Okay, she's talking about a red feather, so maybe you'll find one. Maybe a cardinal will leave one somewhere for you.
Yeah. Not yet. Not a red one yet.
Yeah. It's funny. I never dreamed I'd be doing this, first of all, let alone like as good as I've gotten. But it's weird how I've gotten to know so many different people, and I've learned their life stories, and I take away something from everybody that I read. And I just feel like, your mom was a good person. She seemed like, I think we would have got along splendidly if I ever knew your mom, and she seems like, I don't know. I feel like she reminds me of me in a sense. I feel like we were similar in some ways.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was never afraid to touch into spirituality because I've been a very spiritual person my whole life. I just didn't know I could do this until my husband passed away. I wasn't ready. So, Well, you definitely know your grandfather's here, and your grandmother, and your mom, and everybody is around you, my darling, okay? Just so you know that. And they love you to pieces. Your mom is very proud of you.
That's good. I'm happy to hear that.
She's very proud.
Does she see her great grandbabies?
She sees everybody. Yes, of course she does. I said, are you kidding me? Of course I do. Yes. She said they're beautiful. I love them. Yes, she does. I promise. She sees everything. Trust me. Spirits see everything. They tattletale on you guys. Trust me. They tell me things. I've even been told one time when somebody just got done having sex. So it happens. They know everything. They see everything because they're always around us. And your mom's always with you, darling. If you think she's there, I promise you she's there.
If there's one thing that I've questioned since she passed, it's what message would she have for my stepfather?
For what?
What message would she have for my stepfather?
For your stepfather. Oh, okay. Let's see. Let me see what she's saying about that. First of all, I just want him to know that I'm okay and that I miss him tremendously, that I love him. I just want him to be okay. I know how much he struggles without me. I get it, but I just want him to know that I'm with him. I'm always around him. I feel like he feels me around him. And I just want him to be able to keep going, even though I'm not here. I know how much he loved me. I just want him to be able to keep going and to keep living. And I'll be waiting for him to cross over when it's his time. And I just loved him very, very much. And I just hope he knew how much I really did. She said he was such a good man, and I was so lucky to have him in my life for the time that I did. And I just want him to know
He was very good while she was here. Since she's been gone, he's been horrible.
That's because he's grieving and he doesn't know how to do it. He's been horrible because he's grieving and he misses your mom. It's not a coincidence that he was good when it's not a coincidence. This all happened after she passed away. It wasn't a front or a show. It wasn't a front or a show that he was doing. It's just he doesn't know how to handle her being gone. That's exactly what's wrong with him.
Yeah, he's trying to step foot next to her. He's trying hard.
Yeah.
To get there.
Because he is ready to go. He doesn't want to be here without her, and that's what it is. Is he in his like early to mid 80s? Do you know?
He just had a birthday.
I heard 83.
In May. He's 77. Yes.
Okay. So late 70s, early 80s. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. She said he's not living. He's just existing, and I want him to live. I want him to be okay. life does go on, unfortunately, after people pass away, she says, but I just want him to be okay. And I want him to know that I'm always here, I'm always around him, but he's still struggling with me being gone.
No, for sure.
I want him to find joy and happiness again. That's what she says.
Yeah, unfortunately, he found the bottle.
Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense, yeah.
Yep.
They were together for so long, he just can't handle her being gone. You know, he's turned to things that he normally wouldn't because she's been gone, sweetheart. That's all it is.
Yeah.
She says, I just hope he'll get stronger and quit what he's doing and realize that life is worth living. But, you know, only he can stop what he's doing, nobody else.
Right. Yeah, I had to stop trying. It was too much.
And that's okay, she says. And she says, don't feel guilty because it's something more than you can handle, she says. I see how he is. I know how he is. I get it. I never dreamed he would have turned into this person, but he has, unfortunately. And it's the alcohol, she says, it's the alcohol talking, not him.
Yeah, he's taking us on a wild adventure.
He's taking you on a wild adventure. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Listen, there's nothing you can probably do to help him. You can just try, but she said if he's not going to want help or get help, then try. You know, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
Just so you know, okay?
Yeah. Yep, I have come to terms with that in the last probably 4 months.
All right, Lori. Well, thank you so much. You can rewatch this. This is on my my channel that starts with a Y, and my link is in my bio. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Oh, Lori, you are so welcome. I hope you go back and watch it soon, or whenever you want to. Okay. All right. Take care.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Yep. Thank you.
You're welcome, honey. Bye, bye, Lori. Okay, you guys. I'm gonna stop this and get ready for another reading. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate.